Yo, what's up, guys? It's Dom. You're tuning in to Talks with Dom, where we touch on a series of topics that dives into the creator within. Over time, the goal is to help each and every one of you partaking in this transformation to better understand who and where you are on your journey. So let's chop it up, guys, right? So we're on to point 12, right? When possibility returns. I look at this as acceptance side note part one, right? Because we've the last um, the last video that I did was kind of like diving into understanding acceptance alongside of understanding the process of learning to release, right? So when possibility returns, right? The greatest transformation isn't that life changes overnight. It's that your relationship with possibility changes, right? Before attachment begins to loosen, the future feels smaller than it really is, right? So before those goggles are taken off, right? Before we look straight and see how things are when we have those attachments on us, right? We see the lens that we're looking through. We see how we see certain things. We see how we interpret certain things, right? The life ahead of us looks totally different from once we have that understanding. We add in that acceptance, being able to understand the releasing of certain attachments in our lives, right? Certain lenses, certain perspectives, right? Certain ways, energies. Um, we start to really see how like the future feels smaller than it really is, right? Once we take these things off, right? The possibilities of the things that we can truly do are catapulted, really just taken to a whole new level, right? It's almost like you gaining like an extra two lives. Like you're like, golly, I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do this, right? so, um, but as you move through attachment, something unexpected happens, right? Your mind starts seeing options it couldn't see before because your attention is no longer locked onto one reality, right? Being able to just see it through one way. Now you're able to see it through multiple ways and just being like, hey, this is where I could take this creativity. This is where I can take that attachment that was attached to me and make it into a lesson for a person that might be going through that same thing, right? This is how I can take that attachment, or this is how I can take where I am today, right? Dip into the past, bring it to the future, and be able to like create a full story of parts of my life, right? Maybe into a book or maybe into a short film. Like it's just the possibilities once we're able to make that shift in our minds and in our lives becomes something incredible, right? And as the steps are taken, you start to see, more doors, more people that we bump into, right? More opportunities that start to open up, right? This is where acceptance quietly enters the picture. We're back to talking about acceptance again, right? Acceptance isn't the point. It's simply the movement. You stop arguing. No. Acceptance isn't the point. It's simply the moment you stop arguing with reality long enough to finally see beyond it, right? So, as we talked about acceptance in the last video, we talked about how that basically creates the ground for us, right? The good soil for us to truly see what we have, to truly see where we are, to truly see where we're headed, right? And so, being able to have acceptance, being able to give acceptance to these attachments in our lives, it creates it creates that basically like that border disappears, that parameter disappears, right? Because you start to be like, wait, hold on, like, so I understand that this is what it was, but this is actually what it could be, right? So then the talk of wanting to argue about that, wanting to defend that is truly only shooting us in the foot, right? It's truly only um, making us one dimensional. You know what I mean? Making us see life through one lens, making us see life through one lane, right? So the most creative people aren't the ones with the most ideas. They're the ones who can see more than one interpretation, right? Creativity expands the moment possibility expands, right? We close those doors to possibilities. You start to see how that creativity can only bounce off these walls so many times, right? Certain ideas can only be turned in and flipped into so many things so many times before growth has to happen, before acceptance has to happen, guys, right? So these are this is just another thing though, like when possibility returns, when possibility comes back, right? When you start to see that, right? It's almost like one side of the possibility, and then the other side, which is expansion of possibility, right? And jumping over to the expansion side of it, right? So it's either you want to stick to that side where it's only so many, or you want to jump over to the side where there's a plethora of, of possibilities. That's for you. That's for your lane. That's for the person that you are. That's for the truth of the creator that's inside you. All right. Let's tap into that, guys. All right. Let's make that become something within that aligns with the within, the creative within, guys. For these videos that I've been dropping, though, as I've said before, I continue to say this, guys. If you guys rock with the material, rock with the information, rock with the ideas of what I've been having, what of how I felt about these points and stuff like that, drop some fire in the comments, right? Bring some conversations to the comments. Bring what you think. Bring how you feel to the comments, right? Let's start a conversation and let's keep it going, right? Let's start this movement. Let's bring a friend, right? And tell them to bring a friend, right? Let's build this into a community of creatives, so we can bounce ideas off of each other, right? We can be around each other to really discuss these kind of things on a day-to-day to truly be able to become more rooted into the creative inside you, right? Rooted into the true creator inside you, the raw creator of you. You know what I mean? Anything that's forcing you to create outside of who you know that you are, right? It's limits and stuff like that. It's certain parameters with things like that. But the only person that could be you, the only person that can create the way that you can create, right, is you. You're the only person that can be you. So let's talk about it though, man. Put it in the comments. Leave a like. Leave a subscribe. Let's keep going, guys. Let's keep building. Let's keep expanding to the next one.